Hello, I'm Mark Sabatella from Outside Shore Music, home of Mastering MuseScore. In this tip, I am going to show you how we can add a customized time signature to our score. And I'm going to be using a particular one that is common in Renaissance music, and we're covering this topic in my practical counterpoint course right now, so I thought it might be appropriate. And what it is going to be is a 4/2 time signature, so 4 half notes per measure. But it's going to display not as 4/2, but using the cut time symbol, which was a way that scores were often printed back in the day. So if I look at my time signatures palette, I see there is a cut time signature, but if I add that to my score, it's 2/2, right? It's only 2 half notes per measure. So it's not giving me 4/2. And there's no way to actually change that. There's no way to change the behavior of that time signature. So if I then look at the palette looking for 4/2, I don't see it at first. But if I come over and click the More button, now a few additional ones show up, including 4/2. And by the way, there's also a Create Time Signature button that lets you create 19/2 or whatever else you might want. But I'm going to go ahead and take that 4/2 and drag it into my score. And now I have a 4/2 time signature. I do have 4 half notes per measure. And that could be good enough. We have 4/2, we could say I'm happy. But if you want to make it display using the cut time symbol, the way I'm going to do that is I am going to select that 4/2 time signature and then come over to the Properties panel and then click the Time Signature Properties button. You can also get to the same place by right-clicking a time signature and choosing Time Signature Properties from the pop-up menu here. If I do that, I'm going to get a dialog box that gives me a variety of properties I can set on that time signature. And there's things having to do with the beaming and so forth, but all I'm going to worry about right now is the appearance of it. I don't want it to display as 4/2. I want it to display as the cut time symbol. So I'm just going to select that here in the dialog box and then say OK. Now, when I do that, it did in fact change it for the one that I actually clicked, or right-clicked in this case. It changed that to a cut time. But you'll notice the other ones didn't change. That is because each time signature can have its own properties, but there is a trick to then apply those properties to the other measures. I'm going to show you that now. So first I'm going to click an empty spot in the score to clear the selection. What I'm going to do next is I am going to there's a term that is used within MuseScore called cloning an element, and it basically consists of Control-Shift dragging it from one place in a score to another. This will create a copy of that element and apply it as if you were applying it from the palette. So if I Control-Shift drag this time signature down to the one below, watch what happens now. It changed not just the one that I dragged it to, but all the others, because that's what normally happens when you add from the palette, is it change all the staves. So that technique of Control-Shift drag to basically clone an element in the score and apply it somewhere else as if you were adding from the palette. It's an interesting trick that has a few other uses, but here it is as a way of creating this custom time signature and applying it to the entire score.